The number one question that we receive is, how's the market? I'm Kenny Hubble. Welcome to Breakfast with Bev. One of the things that we do as a team here at Bev & Co. is to be able to provide a weekly update to our sellers regarding how's the market. Because whenever someone asks the question, how's the market, we always want to be able to talk about, well, it depends. Because it depends on where you're living at and what your neighborhood is and the price point of your home and the values associated to those different properties in that neighborhood, because there's various price points within a certain neighborhood. We start out with showings. So how's the showings this week? Showings are going great as far as current conditions. It's just like with the marketplace when you're dealing with stocks. The market goes up and the market goes down. The same thing happens with our market regarding inventory. Inventory is what drives the real estate market. So showings are what we determine as far as the actual buyer activity for any neighborhood. So we look at the showings from each price point to get a good gauge about how's the market, because that's the buyer activity. It's all supply and demand type of situations. So then we'll be able to talk about active listings. So active listings for your neighborhood specifically, and or the pending properties and closed properties. You certainly want to reach out to us, and we'll be glad to be able to give you a specific market update for your neighborhood and for your home as far as your value is concerned. But looking at the overall marketplace for Columbia Market here on July 22nd, 2020, we are in a very stable marketplace. It's definitely a seller's market. Inventory is very low right now, and it has been since January for the most part, so all year long we've been dealing with that. So how does the COVID affect the marketplace? It actually, we still were able to sell houses during the time periods of March and April, but that is normally our busiest time as far as properties that are selling. And it's also the busiest time when properties come on the market. And so everything was kind of pushed back until May, June, and so once the COVID and our stay-at-home orders were released, the marketplace basically got flooded with buyer activity. And there's also been a pent-up demand as far as buyers that want to buy because they need to have home offices now because people are staying at home more. So if you're thinking about selling, now is definitely a good time to sell because you're dealing with low inventory, you won't be dealing with very many competing properties, and there are buyers in the marketplace. I'd like to take a look at the Boone County numbers specifically. We can do specific numbers. And so there's a market update that we'll be able to give you as far as a blog that we'll post along with our Breakfast with Bev this morning. So looking at the Boone County numbers and how's the marketplace doing, we see that there are 324 new listings this week. Now that sounds like a lot of inventory, but when we have, and I say this week, that's actually new listings as of this month. This was last month. These are June numbers that we're looking at. So there are 324 new listings in June of last month, and then there's 397 active listings currently. So 397 listings that are active, 308 went under contract. So you can tell as far as with 324 new listings, almost as many properties went under contract as came on the market. 397 active listings is a very low number for Columbia. This is Boone County numbers only, and so if you're in Callaway or Cole or Randolph or Audrain or some of the surrounding counties from Boone County, these numbers do not apply, and so you certainly want to reach out to us, and we'd be glad to talk about the marketplace in that area. There's been 317 closed properties in the month of June, and so that shows the market activity from May and April because it takes about 45 days to close once it goes under contract. So that's a little snapshot about how's the marketplace in that. So what does that mean? You have average sales price of the properties that are that sold. It was $248,000. So that average sales price continues to go up, and that's due to the inventory levels regarding properties under $200,000. There's just not enough inventory that's coming on the market and selling to be able to keep that price point down. So the higher price point that you're seeing there is a little bit higher than our yearly average, but it will come up and down, and it's just continuously going up because of the inventory and the lower level price points between, under 200,000 has been very low all year long. The properties that sold were on the market an average of 38 days, and that leaves just a little over a month's supply of inventory. So the active listings that we saw earlier and how many buyers are in the marketplace, it gives about a month's supply. A healthy market, a balance between a seller's market and a buyer's market, is 6 months. And so you can definitely tell with 1.25 months of inventory that it is definitely a seller's market, which means it's a good time to sell your house if you are thinking about doing that. If you are thinking about selling, make sure that you reach out to Bev & Co. and we'll be able to gladly give you these specific numbers for your property and be able to make that work. The average list price to sale price ratio that for the properties that did sell in the month of June was 96.9%. So the price points of when we're listing properties, they're getting pretty close to their asking price on their listing. So wanted to be able just to bring you the market stats this morning to let you know how's the market. And once again, if you have need information about your home and how's the market in your marketplace with your buyer, with your property in your neighborhood, please reach out to Bev & Co. I'm Kenny Hubble. Thanks for joining us.